Hey guys, Pretzel here. Welcome back to another video. In this video, we are reviewing Neca Predator Series 18 Hornhead Predator. I am very happy about this figure. This figure is awesome. I was kind of not really liking the paint for the metal. Now, having it in hand, it's not that much of a big deal, though I will get into more of that later. So let's take all these accessories out and get into that first. 1, 2, 3, 4. So first, he comes with this interesting looking mask, really unique. Not really my favorite mask. My favorite mask so far is Wolf Predator's mask and Fugitive Predator's mask. Those ones are my favorite. And there's some other ones that I can't really remember, I'm sure of. I guess like Berserker's mask or something. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And they even did paint inside the mask, which is, I guess, is cool. And how you get this thing on is you just stick it on his head, though for some people it doesn't really stick on because the horns are not far enough apart, which I can get this horn in, but I did kind of scrape the paint off, which is really a big deal for my part, but for some people it might be. But I can't get the other horn to want to go in there. Maybe I can use the sword. No, that's not gonna work. Oh, there it goes. With enough force, you can actually get it to go in. Though, be warned, you most likely will scrap the paint or whatever it's called. But it does stand firmly well, which is, I guess, is pretty cool. I think it would have been, having it in hand, this is a good idea, but when I was watching reviews for other channels and stuff to see if I really wanted to get this guy, I was like, why didn't I just make 2 heads? It would have been much easier. But having it in hand, I'm like, yeah, it's not that bad. Well, for me. He also comes with this gigantic sword, which, ow, that is sharp, which is not the only Predator sword. Hold on, I'll be right back. Boosh. That's what happens when you have retarded cats in your room. Get out of my way. I just fell, by the way, if you didn't know what happened. My cat was in my way and I accidentally stepped on her paw. Because she's slow. That's what you get. Stop standing in front of me. It's not the first time I stepped on her because she's in front of me. From Ghost Predator, we have a sword. Sorry, I'm thinking about what just happened. We have a sword from Ghost Predator, which as you said, and it's compared to this. Yeah, this is a big sword, and way more thicker too. And there's not much detail into this one, besides it having a little bit of blood. But this one actually has detail and paint on it, which I guess is pretty cool. And I get it on the hand, which I haven't done this yet, but you I don't want to break the sword. Come on. Get in your hand, please. Maybe I can open his hand and get it in there. There it is. There it is. Get him to hold it. I had to pry these fingers open to get him to hold it, but it's all good. And which I think is really cool is you have a sword piece right here, and where you can just stick it in. Okay. Some people have been saying that it's on the wrong way, but you know, it's still you can just reach over his back and be like, shing. But you know, whatever. Also, my favorite accessories he comes with is these extremely long blades, in which they're double. He has double blades, which is, if you know me, is obviously my favorite out of Predator stuff. But I'm just gonna put one blade in, side of blades in. This is what I was talking about in the Fugitive Predator review of what they should do. This would have been much, much better if they did that for Fugitive Predator, even though that his blades are made differently from this way. They could have easily made it similar to this, though, you know, whatever. And I actually might use this guy for the Predator stop motion series instead of Fugitive, and I might rename it to Rogue instead of Life of a Fugitive. It's practically gonna have the same story-based type stuff, but you know, just a little more differently. My itchy leg. So, I'm going to take a sword out. Looking at this guy, the only thing I don't really like about him is these horns right here. I don't really know why, but they're just kind of boring. Some people have said, "Oh, he looks kind of cute with that horn." But if he had more horns, like, because, you know, with the opens, where they had opens, like, right here and stuff, they could have added more horns. But, you know, they're going off of a comic, so, you know, they couldn't really add anything else. And then if they did, then people would be like, "That's not accurate. You can't do that." Because people are like that. And, I think the most detailed parts of this figure is the head and the feet. The feet are really, really cool looking. Like, they look like reptile feet and stuff, and they have a bunch of detail put into them. Everything else is just like not detailed, but like it's detailed, but like kind of basic. And these mandibles are just freaking huge. Well, the tooth part is like, pshing. And the eyes seem to be pretty good. At least the brow is not over the eyeballs like Ahab was. But I don't even have that figure, so I don't. And fun fact, this guy fought Ahab Predator and won. I'm joking. He lost because Ahab is, despite him having a weirdly figure, he is really cool in the comics. I don't really like that his red cape thing, but you know, he kills engineers and xenomorphs, and he fought him, and he was the most powerfulest predator out of his whole tribe, which is, I think, is pretty cool. And I was kind of speculating on what figure I wanted to get out of the series, but the reason I got this guy is because of the blades. And I was gonna get the other predator. I didn't really want the what's her name, like Mako or something like that. Mako, I don't remember her name. I didn't really want her because I wouldn't really have a purpose for her. What am I supposed to do? Make a predator stop motion with her or something like that? You know, I didn't really have a purpose for that figure, so why would I even get it? And I was gonna get the one predator that had like a lightning bolt on its skull mask, and like I don't remember his name, but because this guy was originally supposed to have like blood all over him, but like as soon as I found out that he wasn't gonna have blood on him, I was like, ooh, that's good. But yeah, he looks pretty cool. Definitely, probably, I think, like, articulation wise, he's better than Fugitive Predator, because Fugitive Predator has a lot of problems. And I was kind of worried about this getting the figure, because Neca Predator figures have been having some problems with like missing parts and like, you know, stuff like that. I was kind of worried that I would have a missing part because the box I got this guy in was ripped when I got the box yesterday from Amazon, which I did make a unboxing video for these guys, and that I didn't really feel like it, because, you know, not to mention I got interrupted like 50 times by my parents. So the only problem I'm having with this figure is this right here. It is extremely loose. It's not broken, luckily. I was trying to move this joint right here. I don't know if that's because I was trying to move this elbow, because this elbow is like extremely stiff, and it still is, but I kind of got it to start moving. But, you know, it's not really a bad thing. I mean, I could use that for, like, if this guy gets his arm cut off, like, oh no, my arm, yeah. But, you know, also you can just pop it back on. And it's not like Fugitive's arms, because his is kind of similar to that. It's not like where you can just pull it off. You have to actually use force to pull it off, kind of. Not much force, but like it came off because I did this. And when I did that, the joint was stiff, so it had force on the part that comes off, and it popped it off, which is kind of poopy. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix that, but maybe I'll try to fix it. But like I said, it's not that much of a big deal. As long as it doesn't cause problems for stop motions, then that's not a big deal. Articulation, this guy can move his head that far. You probably can get it to go 360, but whatever. He can only look down just a little bit, you know, not much there. His arms can go up pretty far. For some people are like, oh, his arms can only go up that far. For me, I'm like, are you sure about that? But I think you do have to, like, kind of push the armor. This one's easier because I don't know what's going on there, but, you know, as long it's not really bad. Doesn't look like it's a big deal. It still works perfectly fine, but mine goes up pretty far, unlike others, I guess, for some reason. And the elbows are single jointed, I guess. Single jointed elbows. The wrist, I'm going to use this one, the better arm, can go up and down, which Fugitive Predator failed to have. He can only do that with his unarmed or unarmored hands, or, you know, where he doesn't have this on. That's when the only thing he can do it in. But, like, because his blades are literally, like, touching his freaking hands like this. So, being able to do this would have been nice. But no, kidding. And, his ab crunch, he does not really have any. Though it can swivel, so you can get him to look, oh, you talking about me? And, does, well, I guess, yeah, you can rock it over some, you know, and that's a little loose, which is very odd. Oh, actually, I found another problem that I didn't see before. This part right here is loose. Because you can see right here, hole, I can easily pop that off if I wanted to. That's cool. I paid $34 for this guy. $35 actually. That's not cool, man. Not cool. Yeah, it's not a big deal. But yeah, you can get him to rock back and forth. I think the upper body is more loose than the bottom. Or I guess it's both. Because of the waist, but, you know, whatever. The legs can go out that far. Which, another thing people don't really like about the figure is this right here. Because it comes out and, like that. When you kick the far. Kick the leg out. It looks like that. People don't really like that. And, by the way, the legs go out that far. The legs go out back that far, about that far. I think it can go up more, but the Predator booty gets in the way. Yes, single jointed knees. And, this knee pad thing right here is warped, so it's not exactly the same. It's like it came off his knee. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, or just mine just came like that, but, you know, it doesn't affect the articulation at all, so that's cool. And, his feet swivel. You can get a little bit of up and down movement, or down movement, not really any up. And, there is a teeny weeny bit of, what's it called? Ankle pivot. If I was giving this figure a rating, I would probably give him a maybe an 8 or a 9 out of 10. It's a really good figure. It would be, well, I mean, probably maybe more of like a 7.5 because of the problems that he has. But, you know, it's not a bad figure. It's better than, it's going to be better for stop motions than Fugitive Predator. but you know, it might have a little bit of frustration. But as long as the blades don't break, then I will be okay. And also, do note, these part of the blades are here. These part right here, right there, is extremely sharp. So if you end up trying to pick them up from right there or something, be careful. Even though it's not really a 100% possibility of you getting cut, but just to keep that in mind, that part is pokey and you don't want to poke yourself. Because I worry about my fans. I don't care about anyone else who doesn't subscribe to me, so you better subscribe. I'm joking. I care about everybody, except people that are mean to me. I love ya, but I don't like ya. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you like this review. I'm not really the best reviewist, but, you know, I try my best, so don't judge me. And I will have maybe some few videos coming out soon. I can promise you if I hit 50 subscribers, I will most likely have 2 videos coming out soon. Depends when my next package gets here, which is not a figure, by the way, which is sadder, because I'd like another figure. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll try to get as much videos as I can, so bye.